Also breaking tonight, a potential blockbuster scandal from documents released by the Director of National Intelligence today. Fox News Digital reporting the Obama administration allegedly manufactured and politicized intelligence to create the narrative that Russia was attempting to influence the 2016 presidential election. This reportedly happened despite intelligence stating otherwise. Chief Washington correspondent Mike Emanuel has some stunning details tonight, looking into it. This released today. Good evening, Mike.
Brett, good evening to you. DNI Tulsi gathered declassified documents today from before and after the 2016 election, promising they would show the American people how intelligence was politicized and weaponized by some key figures in the Obama administration. She talks about it in an interview airing on Hannity this evening.
You have some of the most powerful people in our country directly leading at the helm, President Obama and his senior-most national security cabinet, essentially making a very intentional decision to create this manufactured, politicized piece of intelligence.
According to the documents, August 31st, 2016, a Homeland Security official tells then DNI James Clapper that there was, quote, no indication of a Russian threat to directly manipulate the actual vote count. On September 9th, 2016, officials argue the presidential daily brief should make clear that Russia, quote, probably is not trying to influence the election by using cyber means to target election infrastructure. Then after the election, the tone appears to change. On December 9th, 2016, the documents reveal the Obama White House held a National Security Council Principals Committee meeting on a sensitive topic. It included then DNI James Clapper, John Brennan, the CIA director, Susan Rice, who was National Security Advisor, Andrew McCabe from the FBI, and others. After that, an email came out to Intelligence Committee leaders from an aide to Clapper saying the intelligence community was prepared to produce an assessment per President Obama's request to pull together the information intelligence agencies had about the tools Moscow used and the actions it took to influence the 2016 election. By December 14th, there were leaks saying that intelligence community officials believe, quote, with a high level of confidence, that Russian President Vladimir Putin was personally involved in the U.S. election hack. Then, on January 6, 2017, 2 weeks before the first Trump inauguration, a new intelligence community assessment was released that, according to the Office of DNI, quote, directly contradicted the intelligence community assessments made throughout the previous 6 months. Former President Obama's office declined to comment. Brett?
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
I tell you, I just want to see somebody that go to jail, prison, handcuffs, hands behind their back. Y'all walk granddaddy around, plugged up the machine up into the wall, you know, and Barry walked around the White House with a bag of Skittles, and then y'all get on these podcasts and talk about this and that. Oh, men need gay friends and all this other crap. They need to put y'all in jail. Just look at this. Where's that clip at? And it was trending earlier too, so I know if you type it in, look, why is this in my search bar? Obama why is that? I wonder why that is in my search bar. And how's Big Mike doing? You know, they got all these rumors and got to come on here and they got to make themselves relevant time and time again. I tell you, the hell with the Obamas. They need to walk Bill out. Need to walk everybody out. You know, these scums. Then look at this. Look.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college. At a time when openly gay folks still weren't outlawed. Who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. Right? So
I tell you, Barry and Mike are on here talking about mushroom tip. I tell you, I really do hate how they still have to come on here and just be relevant. I'm sick of it, man. You know, you just can't make this up.
I had
when you do go, bring a gay friend.
I had a gay professor in college. At a time when a professor then has who's or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this. Right?
Yeah. I tell you, man. And they're saying, who's Obama's gay friend? And everybody, I think everybody's responding back, Big Mike. Big Mike. Michael. I tell you, man, you just can't make this up. But we're getting to the point of the video. I just seen that earlier. I'm like, man, what is... These people here are ridiculous, man. But the documents that Tulsi Gabbard just declassified prove everything. Obama should be in prison. You just can't make this up, man. There ought to be handcuffs. And I told y'all, it's coming. They cracking down on a lot of things right now. Russia. Throw the laptop out in the middle of the street. Y'all got crack cocaine all on the dresser. A gun, one in the chamber. Y'all done walk granddaddy around. That lady was in the room. Last one in the room, she say pissed out, passed out, drunk. Drunk as hell. You know. Y'all sent him off, gave him an ice cream cone and a snow cone, and he spilled it all on the floor. You know. People got caught getting on the plane. We know what's going on. And they got it. It's all coming out. Yeah, it's all coming out, man. And it ought to just we ought to just see handcuffs, arrest, jail time, prison time. You know.
Are you gonna behave or not? No. All right. Did you behave, sir?
Just barely.
I'll tell you. This President Trump clearly told 60 Minutes that Obama spied on him in his campaign. The legislator and the MSM know Obama was committing treason.
Was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Can I say something? You know, this is 60 Minutes, and we can't put on things we can't verify.
You won't put it on because it's bad for Biden.
We can't put on things we can't verify.
Leslie, they spied on my campaign.
Well, we can't verify
It's been totally verified.
No.
It's been, just go down and get the papers. They spied on my campaign, they got caught.
No.
And then they went much further than that, and they got caught. And you will see that, Leslie, was when they...
And now look at everything that's coming out. You just can't make it up. What does it say? I already see people trying to make the argument that we cannot go after Obama because he was president and has presidential immunity. That's cute. It has already been established. Everyone is fair game, including former presidents. No one is above the law. I'll tell you. Like it or not, Obama has gone down for conspiring and committing treason against the United States. Don't get to run point on a couple against duly elected sitting president by weaponizing an intelligence agency against him, knowing falsely information, and walk away scot-free. Yes, this includes everyone involved. Put everybody ass in handcuffs. Jail. I tell you, man. I don't think people are grasping how big of a deal this is. Obama and his cronies are under investigation, and Tulsi just produced smoking gun evidence that they all are willing committed treason. She even said that there was treasonous conspiracy in 2016. They knew the entire time that the Russia story was a hoax, and thus the Mueller investigation was a treasonous regime change operation, spearheaded by Obama and his holdovers in the intelligence community, namely Comey, Brennan, Clapper, etc. This means Democrats, along with their cohorts in the media, knowingly fed the American people disinformation for years, that they can continue the intent to overthrow the sitting president of the United States. This is literally treason, and we now have evidence that Obama knew about it. It's time for justice. Boy. Told y'all, man. Handcuffs. That's all we ought to see now is just people walked out. You know. Oh, they'll never be held accountable, Rick, sir. They'll never be held accountable. Oh, presidential immunity. You know. I tell you, man. But the Obama administration manufactured intelligence to create the Russia collusion in 2016. New documents declassified. Time for arrest. What y'all think, family? I know this don't surprise a lot of y'all. I know this doesn't surprise probably everybody that's tuning in right now. It don't surprise you. Y'all just ready to see handcuffs like me. Y'all just ready to see somebody walked out. Somebody. One of these filthy scums walked out, you know. Well, we've been calling this out for years, and Paige has been calling it out for years, you know. But Tulsi Gabbard calls for arrest after exposing Obama's Russiagate hoax. Their goal was to assert President Trump and subvert the will of American people. This is treason. And now people are just calling for Obama to be arrested. Pass it on. They're saying arrest Obama. You know. You can't go after Obama because he was president. He has presidential immunity. Us. President Trump. I tell you, man. You just can't make this up. But there it is, you know. Boy, oh boy.
Security Council meetings that the president chairs in the White House Situation Room. Usually, the first person to speak would be the director of national intelligence and the director of CIA. They lay down the intelligence basis for any type of policy discussion that ensues. And so if that intelligence basis, that briefing is going to be skewed or is going to be lacking some very important critical information, the policy decision that ultimately comes out of it is also going to be baseless, and also, you know, it's going to be potentially threatening to our national security. So again, it's the president's daily brief, but also the role that the director of national intelligence, director of CIA play in order to ensure that the people who have to make those decisions in the National Security Council are fully informed about what the reality is, what the intelligence is, what our intelligence gaps are, and if they withhold things or if they skew things, it really is going to be detrimental to
Real quick before we let you go, Director, do those agency heads have, in that moment you're describing in that room, have that realization that, wait a minute, that's not what we told you? I mean, in other words, how does that coordination become undone when the person who's putting the final brief is skewed the information?
Well, I like to think that, you know, Secretary of State Rubio, who is very familiar with the intelligence profession, is going to be speaking up, because you have the Secretary of State, Secretary of Defense, the Attorney General, others who are going to be there. So you want to make sure, again, that you have people who are informed, but also people who want to know the truth. Right. And not just people who want to give President Trump what he wants to hear. That is so dangerous. And none of the 6 presidents that I work for ever wanted the intelligence community to give them what they wanted. They wanted the intelligence community to give them what they needed, and then they can make the appropriate policy decisions, taking into account what the intelligence.
I've seen some of the biggest scandals in American history, man. All people want is accountability, justice, man. But we know this system is broken. You know, and people are losing faith, man. You know, and this is why so many reside with President Trump, because we think something's going to be done. We think somebody's going to be walked out in handcuffs. You know, I'm waiting DJT, I'm waiting. Y'all done dropped the files. Y'all done released this. Come on, let's put somebody in handcuffs.
Rating the 2016 Russia collusion hoax by asking foreign intelligence agencies to illegally spy on the Trump campaign.
Lucas Tomlinson in Washington with more. Lucas.
Good early morning, Carly.
We got Obama around here smiling, talk about mushroom tip on a podcast. They talking about men need gay friends, kids need gay friends, and they talking about mushroom tip on the podcast around here smiling, enjoying life. I tell you the truth, man.
Todd, this report from Substack citing multiple unnamed sources claims the U.S. intelligence community asked foreign spy agencies to help spy on more than 24 associates of Donald Trump in the run-up to the 2016 election. It reads in part, quote, President Barack Obama's CIA director, John Brennan, had identified 26 Trump associates for the Five Eyes to target. A source confirmed that the IC had identified them as people to bump or make contact with or manipulate. They were targets of our own IC and law enforcement, targets for collection and misinformation. Now, the Five Eyes nations are the U.S., UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand. Here's one of the reporters, Michael Schellenberger, who spoke to Jesse Waters last night.
If this binder contains what we have been told that it contains, which may include raw intelligence, information showing that the U.S. government, the CIA and the intelligence community of the U.S. government, initiated the Russia collusion hoax, that it did not occur in the way that the official story, including the Durham investigation, had portrayed it, then that's extremely serious information.
The report was released at the same time House conservatives are preparing a bill that would reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act that allows the government to collect communications from foreigners abroad. And today, the House Rules Committee is set to meet over that FISA reform bill, guys.
I'll tell you. Told you. One of the biggest scandals, the biggest cover-ups, the biggest corruption. These Democrats. I'm just waiting to see handcuffs. How about you? Let me know in the comment section. You agree? Y'all gonna put it down below. Hit that like button and put hands behind your back in the comment section. I need to see them beautiful comments, man. You know, but here it is. I know this doesn't surprise anybody. You know, and then they on here talking about giving parents advice and telling them what to do with their kids and that. Let your son and let the men, you know, let them, they need gay friends, need this. How you going to tell people what we need? I tell you, them days of walking around the White House, Barry, with that bag of Skittles, them days are over with. Y'all pushing all this crap on people. Let people decide how they want to live their life. If they want to do this, do that, let them do it. Tell you, y'all make everything about homosexuality, race, the race card. I'm sick of this crap, man. We sick of all this woke crap. And this is why so many people are done with the Democrat Party. This is why, Barry, them Patriots read your real birth certificate. They went through that cabinet file. We think there ought to be an investigation. We know about the chef. We know there ought to be another full-blown investigation. Talking about men need gay friends. How you gonna tell us what we need? And you and Big Mike up here lying like y'all just so happy. Honey, you're gonna make me cry, honey, you're gonna make me cry. We have the best marriage ever. I tell you, frauds. Y'all are a bunch of frauds, man. Sick of these politicians. You know. A disgrace. What y'all think? Let me know in the comment section. But God bless you all. Y'all know Rick gonna come on here and keep it real, man. Now, this crap is crazy. You know. But there it is, man. There it is. We'll play this last video right here as we end on today's video. God bless you all. And I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, you guys.
This is the Will Cain Show, and we begin with a breaking news alert. Fox News Digital exclusively reporting that the Obama administration manufactured and politicized intelligence to create a narrative that the Kremlin was trying to influence the 2016 presidential election. This is the origins of Russia, Russia, Russia. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard has just declassified today these documents, laying out this timeline. Prior to 2016 and the election, officials from across the intelligence community assessed Russia lacked the intent and capability to hack U.S. elections. After President Trump's 2016 victory, early intel assessments proved that there was no foreign manipulation. Now, officials tell Fox that intelligence was then manufactured and politicized to be used as the basis for the year-long Mueller probe. The documents state, quote, hours before the December 8th, 2016 PDB was due to be published, a senior intelligence official abruptly pulled it from the president's briefing book. It was never published. The next day, on December 9th, 2016, the Obama White House convened in a classified NSC meeting with top administration officials to discuss Russia. Following the meeting, an email was then sent from then DNI Clapper's executive assistant to the intelligence community officials with the subject line, POTUS tasking on Russia election meddling. Within hours, the intelligence community made a 180-degree pivot and started drafting an intelligence community assessment that directly contradicted assessments from the previous 6 months, manufacturing and amplifying the Russia hoax narrative. This is what DNI Director Gabbard is saying today. There was a treasonous conspiracy in 2016 committed by officials at the highest level of our government. We'll continue to break down the bombshell as it